Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, Vibing After Dark _ with Mo. And if you're new to my channel, how about hit that subscribe button? And if you're a returning subscriber, how about send it to a family or friend so they can vibe out with us? And please, 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 please like this video. It helps out a lot. And thanks in advance. Okay, you guys, so as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title of the video, we are going to be talking about Derrick Jaxn and naiajackson. Mostly naiajackson. Okay, now, if y'all don't know who this couple is, Derrick Jaxn, he was a big-time influencer around, well, he was at his peak of his career maybe like 2 years ago in 2020, and she is his wife, and he considered himself as like a relationship coach. He went out just doing videos sitting in his car, basically telling people what women should be like and what men should be like, and basically catering to the women a lot. Now, it seemed like a lot of men did not like him because, like I said, he would just basically school women on how men is and what not to take from a man. And a lot of people just felt like they could see right through his BS. And he really was saying a lot of BS, which he was saying truth, but he wasn't living what he was talking about. So before I get into recapping like what this whole video is about, her speaking out after they got separated, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all one of his videos, and just to give y'all a general idea, like I said, if you don't know him, a general idea of what type of videos that he made. So I'm gonna show y'all that, and then I'm gonna get into the video.
The slowest but surest way to lose your woman is by creating for her what I call relationship loneliness. And relationship loneliness is basically when you make your woman feel more lonely in a relationship with you than what she felt whenever she was single. And the difference is, like, with singleness, of course, you're just in your own solitude, you're in your own company. But with relationship loneliness, there's this rejection, this abandonment. It's almost malicious because it's like emotionally you make her feel invisible. Like you could care less whether or not she stayed or whether or not she left. Like you put her needs last on your priority list. You'll get to it when you get to it. You could just care less about the well-being of that woman. And it's not that men don't deal with this, but men typically jump ship way quicker than women whenever they're not happy in a relationship. But women, on the other hand, will fight some more. Like, there's a woman that came to me recently dealing with this, and her whole thing as to why she was staying was, well, D, in her words, the grass ain't always greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. I said, you know what? I agree with you, but sis, I'm gonna keep it G. Ain't no grass where you at. That is sand that you're standing on. In fact, it's quicksand. It's quicksand, like you're sinking. And the more that you pour yourself into that relationship trying to save it because you're treating it like it's grass, the faster you're going to sink. And the longer that you stay in that relationship, the more likely you are to drown. And by drown, I mean lose yourself. It's already happening. And ain't nobody worth that. So you got to get out while you can.
Okay, y'all, so that's like one of his videos, but that's basically how all of his videos is about. And if y'all really actually listen to the words that he was saying, basically it seemed like he was talking to his own wife about him. Really. So she basically went viral for going on this podcast. It called Future Wifey Podcast. I hope I got that right. It's either Dare Future Wifey Podcast or Future Wifey Podcast. But this is him. And if y'all type in, I suggest y'all really go watch this whole interview because it was really a good interview. And it gave you more insight of like their relationship and why she stayed, when she stayed, and what was going on. So, because Tasha K basically used to put them out on blast and put him out on blast really for cheating. And her and Tasha got like a little beefy type relationship because Tasha was putting her on blast. But just check it out yourself. But I'm going to just do like a little quick recap of basically what it was about. So it was a 2-part interview, and the first part basically was talking about her upbringing and how she was raised and her environment like that. And that kind of led into the type of person she was and why she stayed so long with Derrick. And she basically said she came from teen parents and her daddy was not really active like that too much, or he was kind of mean. She was the only girl, and she had 2 brothers or 3 brothers. I can't really remember. That's why I say check the video out for yourself for the actual details and facts. But she was the only girl, and she said she was like a tomboy, and she was chubby, and she tried to fit in with the boys. And so she ended up going to college. She was a straight A student. She ended up going to college, and that's where she married Derek at. So from early on, it basically sounded like she had low self-esteem. She said she was like the nerdy type. She was really smart, straight A's, and she was pimpled. She had pimples all over her face, and she was kind of weird and awkward because she was raised in like a white school. So when she got to college, it was like a black school and the black side or the black experience that she never had. So she felt like she was weird and kind of nerdy. And so when she met Derek, it was at the school and he asked her to help her with something. And she just had got SA'd in the house with her whole family that was in it 3 weeks prior to that. And she basically never faced that and never even told Derek about the situation. And basically, she fell in love with Derek from basically his looks. And like I said, she had low self-esteem about herself. So seeing Derek, she thought he was very attractive and he was treating her good and showing her a bunch of attention, something that she never had. So basically, she got wild from the start about him. She said that they dated for 7 years in college, on and off, and they ended up getting married when she was like 28. And through the whole time they was dating in college, basically he always had women, and she never said anything to him. She just kept that bottle in and cried to herself, basically. And she seen videos of them having sexual activities going on, and she would just cry and never tell him about it. Like she just hold that in and just stayed with him. So basically, when she was getting ready to leave and go back home to her mother, that's when she found out she was pregnant with the first child. And that was during one of their, at that time, they wasn't together, but they were still having sexual relations, like I said before. And she was like, she basically allowed him to just keep having different women. And she was like, they almost had shifts. They was past each other walking up the stairs and down the stairs, basically in passing. So basically, like he would have sex with her at this time. When she leaving, the next woman is coming in, and she still never said anything to him. So after having their first kid, she went through like a severe postpartum, she said. So dealing with that on top of like all these different women coming in and out, and she was starting to like become into her faith, and she wanted to leave him again. And then when she was telling him about leaving, he didn't want to basically separate from her and the kid. So he ended up doing a big proposal. And she was just talking about how she just felt like she was so happy. Her dreams have came true. And she felt like she won over all the other girls because it was really a lot of girls that he was talking to throughout that time. And so shortly after that, they got married. And she said right after they got married, he basically never stopped talking to the girls that he was messing with. And he will always basically say like they was for business. And basically he mixed business with pleasure with those women. And all the while she was basically helping him like grow his career in the background. She was never in the forefront. So all this time he was talking all this inspirational stuff to women and telling them what not to take from a man and saying things like this when he was really behind the scenes living his best life and he was a whole married man. But she never said anything to him about any of the affairs that he ever had, and she knew about it the whole time. I'm gonna play y'all a clip where she was saying like how she will study these women body, try to like copy their hairstyle, copy like the sex scenes that they have, because she just want him to choose her and only her.
I became a shell of myself. I didn't know who I was. I actually have a couple posts on my page where I have a post that says, I knew her body better than I knew my own.
Stop. Let that sit there. You said you knew another woman's body better than you knew your own.
Yes, several women. I knew several other women's bodies better than I knew my own. And I spent a lot of time, like I went in such a deep hole where I was like studying these women. I would go to their profiles and I would study their pages and like what they wear. I knew when they had met up. So I watched their videos of them having sex. So I would try to imitate that and recreate that in our relationships so that he could choose me and want me. And that is a low point to be. And I'm tearing up a little bit because I hate that I even got to a point where that was a thing, but that it was just that. And so I knew several other women's bodies better than I knew my own. I completely lost myself. I became a shell of myself. I tried to imitate their hair, their actions, even sexual things that I had seen him doing with them. I tried to recreate that in our life when we were engaged, and none of it amounted to anything.
What did that do?
That's so sad. So anyway, so basically, like kind of like 2 years after their marriage, or like a year and a half, she ended up deciding to leave because that's when she got stronger, like I said, in her faith and about God. And so she talked to her mama, and her mama basically told her she just need to get out there because he was not staying home. Like, he had their mansion and then he had a condo. And he basically said he brought the condo basically to create content. But why would you need a whole nother condo to create content? Because I think she said, I'm not even about this story and see about the square footage of the house. But it was a big house and she had space. He had space to do content in that house. But he bought a whole nother condo. So in that other condo, he had other women that she said he was basically staying the night there more than he was ever coming back home. And he basically sounded like he didn't even want to work it out. He didn't care. He said he wasn't coming back home to basically talk it out. And so she ended up leaving. And by the time she got to her mother's house, he was already there. So long story short, in order for him to get her back, she wrote down a list with 13 things on it. And he had to basically meet the requirements for her to go back to him. And she said she's seen some progress. He started doing some of the things and she ended up going back to him. And that's when she went back, and that's when they made this video right here. Now, I'm going to show y'all a little piece of this video, and this is basically what him coming out to his fans and telling like how he'd been cheating, and she knew about it because this was after Tasha K done blast him. So they made a video together.
Really, I do want to just add that I agree with what he just said. There is no justification for bringing other women into our marriage on any level. When I found out about it, I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so. And I stayed gone. No matter how many times he came, I stayed gone and stood firm on, I am not coming back. And I did not come back until I seen a shift and a change in his mentality. So there's nothing out there right now that is information that I don't already know about or haven't known about. And so this is not something that is new. We have moved forward from it. We have gotten counsel for it and continue to do so. He is still continuing to pursue God and continuing to seek guidance and wise counsel from.
So basically what she tried to do was damage control. But y'all, the internet lit her up. They dragged her for days. Made memes and everything about like, oh, he made her came out here and say this stuff. You could tell like she need help. Blink twice if he making you do this and holding you hostage. They was really like going in on her after she made that video and she thought it was going to help. So then she basically said it got better for a little while, but one day she said she texted him and been like, I forgive you. Or she came in the house and said she forgive him. And then right after that, he texts her and said he want out. He want a divorce. So he ended up filing for a divorce. And then she ended up filing like a couple months later for divorce too. And his on, it said irreconcilable differences. And her suit was adultery. So why I keep saying they still married? Because they technically, she said at the end of that interview that they are still married. They just waiting on like the lawyers or whatever to make it official. And that was my recap of that. Like I said, please go check out the interview for yourself because it was really good. But long story short, she stayed with him the whole time he cheated, and he know. And she did say it was over 100 women that he cheated on her with. And after Tasha K like lit him up and exposed all of that, you really don't hear no more from him these days. I don't even think he make like those videos anymore. But here's a video of his new chick that he's talking to now. I said video, I meant picture. And last couple of days it showed that she was trying to really throw shade at Danae. And I'm not sure as to why or whatever. But if you happy with that man, go ahead and be happy with that man. I don't know if he's going to change or not, but hey, do you, boo. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section below. Let me know if y'all watched the interview. If y'all didn't watch the interview, go watch the interview. Let me know, y'all. Come back and let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section below. I do comment back. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.